We're here at the, I'm not sure what they're going to name this, Mary. It's going to be the Benny Watts Shady Grove or Pleasant Grove or something like that. And it's named in honor of Mr. Benny Watts. He was a very hard-working gentleman that worked for the county. And anyway, they'll be talking about that here later a little bit. But anyway, we're here in front of the Rotary stage. They're under construction right now. So we thought we'd get out here and let you see that. But, Mary, that's not what you came to talk about, is it?
It isn't.
Okay, this is Mary Parker. She's with
Draper.
I'm sorry. I keep wanting you to not be married, don't I? Yeah, Mary Draper, and Mary is with UT Extension.
Yes.
And Mary's going to be telling us about family and consumer science exhibits. Do you want to go through what they are?
Yes, we have 10 divisions at the fair, and each one has different classes. So each class will have a first, second, and third place, and they'll get a $5 if they win first, second place $4, and third place $3.
And it's not about the money; it's about bragging rights, ain't it?
Yes, exactly.
That's what I thought.
But money's always nice as well. And then best of show in each division. So there's 10 best of shows, and you get $10 for each division for each best of show plus a prize. The divisions are quilts, crafts, floriculture, sewing, needlecraft, canning,
photography,
floriculture. You said photography.
And it's got fine arts down here. I'm not sure.
Fine arts, so
and
that would be
needlecraft.
painting.
And needlecraft.
Okay.
Now.
And antiques, heirlooms.
Oh, really? So if you've got something that's unique at your home, been in it a while, you can display it and maybe win a prize.
Exactly. Yes.
Like a doorknob?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know those glass doorknobs. I was kind of joking, but seriously, there's some beautiful ones.
Yes, if they're antique. I think it says in there how old they need to be, that if they're at a certain age, they can be entered.
Okay. Now, tell me this. How do they enter? Where do they come to?
On July the 29th, we'll be taking all of our categories except for cooking from 8 till 12. So July 29th is a Saturday. You come to the Ag Center, and we'll be there to enter your barcodes if you never had entered them before. If you've entered before, we have them to give out. And then on Monday the 31st, we'll take cooking entries from 8 to 12 as well.
Okay, and that's at the UT Extension Center?
At
the Ag Center here, okay. So you're going to have it opened up for
Saturday from 8 till 12, and then Monday for cooking from 8 till 12 as well.
Okay, now it says here canning and cooking, so you're not doing like the garden vegetables and things like that, are you doing that? Or is that another division or someone else?
Chris and Mr. Ronnie, they do the agriculture in the back, so you can enter those as well. They have the different types of vegetable categories as well.
Okay, so if you've got anything that you know is part of the fair for judging, you actually just need to bring it that day then.
Yes, on Saturday.
Okay. Now, is there any advice that you would give people if they're wanting to enter? Well, like for instance, what does it cost to enter?
There's no registration fee, so that's always a plus. It doesn't cost you anything to enter. So you could get money actually out of it, so that's always a good idea. And you can just enter things. It doesn't have to be made a certain time. Some of them, like canning, it has to be made within a year, but other categories don't have rules like that. So it just kind of depends on which categories you're entering, but the rules show right there.
Okay, and you need to go by, you can go by the Courier, you can come by the Chamber of Commerce, probably the Extension Service. You can get one of these programs, and it's going to have all the rules in it. For instance, I'll just give you an example. It says sewing items must be made by the exhibitor with the exception of recycled clothing. So evidently you can actually drag something out and redo it, and you can get to enter that into the contest. And that was just talking about that. Needlecraft, it's the responsibility of the exhibitor to make sure the entry is in the correct category, and when you're entering large framed items, bring your own easel. So like it's got Afghans, knitted, crocheted, baby, any other. So there's a lot of categories, aren't there?
There is, and there's different rules for every category, such as floriculture, culture, it needs to be a certain size, can't be over a certain size, and you need to bring your the specimens in a bay. So there's just different rules for each category.
Okay, now folks will be seeing this. We're talking about the fair, of course, but they'll be seeing this. The fair is the last day of July and the first week of August. Okay, do you have anything going on after the fair? Any types of meetings or programs, or are you doing some of your exercise programs?
Yes, we have Walk Across Tennessee going on. It'll start July 10th. That will be our opening day. We'll have a walk here at the park at 5 p.m. and all you have to do is have a team of 8 people. There's no registration for registration for that is well, you have to enter paperwork, but there's no registration fee for that. And teams will sign up with me, and we'll have a map of Tennessee at the chamber, and each team can see their progress across Tennessee. So we're going from Memphis to Bristol, and that's about 500 miles. So we aim to get at least 500 miles, but if you do more than that, that's always good as well. And all you have to do is keep track of your miles.
Okay, and what about Tai Chi? I know you've been doing classes. Is that over, or are you still doing those?
We'll do another session of Tai Chi or Qi Gong. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, in the fall. So we finished ours up a while back, but we'll have one in the fall.
Okay, and then of course in the fall, September, we got Kids Central going on, and we got several other things happening.
And Kids Central will actually be our celebration day of ending Walk Across Tennessee. So Walk Across Tennessee goes from July 10th to September 3rd, and then we'll have our awards day on Kids Central September 9th, and we'll have prizes for the teams with the most miles, first, second, and third place.
Okay, so if you want to get involved, sounds like Mary Draper is the lady to talk to.
Yes.
All right. Well, Mary, thank you for coming and being with us. And what do you think? The stage, I think it's looking really good.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
I'm looking forward to seeing people like Muddy Water Bluegrass playing on
Yes,
that.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Okay, we're still here in front of the Rotary stage here at the Benny Watts Memorial area. I'm not sure what they're going to name that.
Village.
Yeah, well, this is the Pioneer Village. I understand that we got several things going on that's going to have names here. Like, for instance, this is going to be the Rotary stage.
Yes, sir.
You know, so we got several things. It's Mr. Dale SHOEMAKE. Mr. Dale, I have got to do this. Turn around and show them the back of your shirt.
Mm-hmm.
If you are going along the road and you see a yellow shirt and it says "You call, we haul," that's Dale. Thanks, Dale.
Somebody that works with me.
Yeah, or somebody that works for you. Yeah. That I like that color. That's
It's there for a purpose.
Yeah, I was going to say at night when you're out there, they need to see you.
Yes.
Well, anyway, Dale runs Dale's Towing and Recovery here, but he also is a volunteer and helps run the Fair by the River.
Yes.
And I think you're in charge of all the arena events. Is that right?
Most all of them, yes, sir.
All right, now we're going to test your memory. Can you run through what all is going on? Because I know you got a lot going on in the arena. Well, tell us what's going on.
Monday nights start off with a extrication demonstration put on by Smith County Rescue Squad. Shows you how they extricate people, get them out of vehicles after they've been involved in an accident. We also have Sergeant Junior Fields with the Smith County Sheriff's Department. He's going to have his dog Constance over here to do a demonstration on how they search for drugs in cars and stuff. Also on Monday night we'll have flag football in the main arena. Tuesday night we'll have Warrior by the River Mud Run, which is kind of like a Spartan man race. Have lots of obstacles, mud pits.
I think Christian Sanders is helping you with that.
Is one heading that up. Let's see, Wednesday night we got the four-wheeler flat track race. We signed on with a group this year called Race Tennessee. I think they've been doing some events for other fairs, having somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 to 300 four-wheelers show up for these events. Then on Thursday night we'll have the Demolition Derby. We got some special guests again this year. Sheriff Steve Hopper, Wild Bill Lish, some different people will be running in some of the cars. I think y'all enjoy it.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's back up that flag football. Who is playing? Is that just anybody, or?
I don't know a whole lot about it. The gentleman that's over at the radio station, not Dennis, but
Jim West.
Jim West is in charge of that. Normally what they do is they do it Alumni, Carthage, Gornsville, and then they just pick teams from there and play you know, 4 quarters.
Okay, and if it's flag football, that means an old guy like me could actually probably play a little bit.
Yes, sir.
That's a good thing. No tackling or anything like that. That's good. That's good. Okay, the mud run by the Warrior Mud Run by the river. That's basically something that it's been different names, but you've been doing that for 3 or 4 years, haven't you?
Yes, sir. Actually, it's been, like you said, under different names and stuff. It's been changed up a whole lot this year to incorporate, you know, into the fair or whatever. But we're gonna have different age groups. There'll be a kids run, and then there'll also be an adults run. There'll be lots of different categories, 1st, 2nd, 3rd place in each one of those categories. Seems like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know the people that I've talked to that's been in it. They really like it. Chris Farrell's our chamber president this year, and he was telling me one year you guys ran it through some ditch somewhere, and some water got turned on about the time he went through, and he about went down the river. Actually, so it's an adventure. I understand.
Yes, sir, it is. We had to pull away from that. We had one part of it that went through a creek that feeds into the Caney Fork River, and they opened the generators up about halfway through our race, and it got a little bit hairy, so we had to take that part out.
So that part's out.
Yeah, we have dug our own mud pits back there now. We've got 3 mud pits that's in a safe location.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about getting washed into the Caney. Of course, getting washed into the Caney Fork wouldn't be that bad. The demolition derby. Say, for instance, what do you have to do to enter, or is that pretty well a closed race? You already picked your participants.
No, sir. No, sir. Anybody can enter. I actually encourage people of Smith County to visit their local junkyard. You can either run a front-wheel drive car, a minivan, or a V8 car. We run all stock cars. I mean, we don't let them do any modifications. They don't add nothing to them to make them where they give them an advantage. You just come out, buy your car, take all the windows out of it, all the plastic off of it, move your fuel tank from where it's at into the back end, and put the battery in the passenger side where the seat would be, and you can come out there and run.
Okay, because you're moving all those dangerous things in to be protected.
Yeah, we do have the rescue squad on standby. We have South Carthage City Fire Extrication. We do have a couple of Bobcats out there running around just in case of an injury.
Well, now you've been doing that for several years, right?
Yes, sir.
No injuries, right?
No, sir.
All right. See, so folks, you bring your old car and it's safe and you can enter. Do you know what it costs to enter that?
I believe it's $30.
Oh, that's to have that kind of fun. That's pretty cheap.
And I mean, it's a pretty good. You know, if you do win it, I mean, there's some pretty good payouts on the class brackets too. I don't have that with me, but I know one of them is pays out the V8 class. If you win it, it's $1,000.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty good. I hear your phone over there. Somebody's needing a tow, aren't they?
Of course.
Well, let's. Have we hit everything then?
I think so, Bill.
All right.
We got everything.
Well, Dale, thanks for coming by, and we'll look forward to seeing you out there in the arena.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Well, we've had Mr. Cole EBEL come by. This is the rotary stage, and we're in the shady part of the fair park here. They're going to have Pioneer Village here, Cole. Anyway, Cole, this is Mr. Cole EBEL. Cole is one of our local residents, and he's got a new business he's going to open up here just sometime in the late summer, I guess.
Yeah, depending on when this air, it may be open by that time. So
okay, hold that up a little closer.
Okay, we got to keep this one closer.
Yeah,
okay.
But you're going to be opening up sometime in late summer, you think?
Yeah,
or
we're open. We're
fall?
aiming for around early August. So we got got a nice business going in here in downtown Carthage Square. So you'll have to check it out. You'll start seeing more and more popping up over the next few weeks.
Okay, and it's right straight across from the courthouse there under Kim's Framing Art.
That's correct. That's correct. So
yeah.
We're real excited. I don't want to give away too much, but it's going to be exciting for Carthage.
Okay, it's a big secret right now. So, folks, if you're listening to this program, don't tell anybody. Cole's opening a business up. It's going to be. It's going to have food and beverage and
may not.
And yeah, may or may not. Oh, well, it's still a secret. Anyway, Cole came by not to talk about that, but to talk about the kayak race.
Yeah, so we got a kayak race that we've been doing here in Smith County for quite some time. We usually have had this kayak race go about 10 miles, and we get some pretty hardcore people out, and it's a lot of fun. But a lot of people expressed interest this past year, saying that we needed to have this kayak race a little bit shorter and they will participate. So we listened to the people and we answered. So we're going to have a 4-mile kayak race. It starts down at Stonewall Bridge, ends here at the fairgrounds, and it starts at 5 p.m. So it's also going to be a little bit cooler. As soon as you get off the water, you can walk right up to the fairgrounds, get in with free admission. Additionally, on top of that, what we have is we've got cash prizes. It's $20 to enter the race. There's 4 divisions. There's men's, women's, boys, and girls. And so top 3 places gets a percentage of the cash prize. They can use that however they like to. They can bring it home, save it, buy, maybe if we get enough people, buy a kayak with it, or come here, spend some money at the fair. Either way, you come out here to Smith County and this fair and enjoy a good time on the river. Okay, well now I have entered the 10-mile portion of it every year, and you don't have an old guy category for me. We don't. Usually the older guys like Bill, what they do is they run and get into their kayak and then they tip over. And so we try to avoid that category just for that reason. I can't believe you brought that up. Yeah, so yeah, last year I tried to get in my kayak real fast because I wanted to beat Cole, and I just kind of jumped over it and fell in the water. Yeah. And naturally you beat me by that much. So we have issues with that. So we try to keep a certain age range in there. Yeah, there you go. We're just kidding. If no matter what age range you are, we invite you out to have a blast with us on the river. Bill will tell you right here, he hangs with the youngest of them, and he gets out there and knocks them out. So I just give him a hard time about it. So. Well, and it's very enjoyable, and it's a pleasant to be going down the river. You know, we got a beautiful river here, Caney Fork. There's all kind of wildlife on it. If you fish, you can fish. Oh, absolutely. Of course, fishing during the race is probably not advised, but it's not advised. I mean, if you're that far ahead or that far behind, go ahead and bring a pole with you. I've done it before. To be honest with you. Yeah, if you're in the race and you're that far behind, you might as well fish a little. We got one of the best trout rivers here in Smith County, in this state, in North America. It's beautiful on that water. It's cool, especially during that hot summer heat there in August. And so we just want to make sure everyone's out there just having a nice, fun time and a safe time. Now, the race is going to begin at the Stonewall boat ramp, but now, do they need to register here at the fairgrounds? They can register either at the fairgrounds or at the boat ramp. We're going to have registration open throughout the whole fair. Additionally, we're going to have it at the boat ramp, so you can come register, sign your waiver, and get out there on the water. What I would recommend that you do is have your boat up there at Stonewall around 4 p.m. and then be back here at the fairgrounds. Drop your truck off down here at the right there by the river at the latest 4:30, because that's going to be the last shuttle that goes back to Stonewall. And then when you get off the river, you can just throw your kayak up there. You've already got best parking at the fair, so right there alone, I'd say is close to a $20 value. Plus, you could win money back. So it's going to be a good time. Well, I'm looking forward to it. And folks, if you want to go and get one of the programs, all the information is in the program. You can come by the Chamber of Commerce. We can help you out with that. And are you going to have any early registration, or are you just going to do it at the fair itself? Oh, they can do it either at the fair, or they can do it at the boat ramp. Either way. You're going to have a booth at the fair too? We're going to have a booth at the fair. Okay. That usual. The best looking booth out there. Well, okay, all right. Yes, it is. I'll have to agree. Yeah. It is one of the best looking ones. Well, Cole, thanks for coming by. Thank you, Bill. Glad you could be here at the Rotary Stage. Absolutely. This looks great. Yeah. Those guys are really, they put it together. It's pretty solid. I am excited. I'm going to bring a chair and escape my booth for a little bit. Probably come down here and sit down and listen to some good music. Well, and what I like about it, it's in the trees here, so it's going to be kind of cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we need that. All right, well, folks, come to the Smith County Fair and bring your kayak. Okay, we're still here at the Rotary Stage, and we've got Mr. Hollis MULLINAX with us. And Hollis, this is the new fair brochure that's out, and folks, you can pick these up at the Chamber of Commerce, at all of the banks. You can get them at the rest area coming in on I-40. There's a lot of different places that people can pick this up, and it's got all the information about the fair on it. So if you want to know about the fair by the river, the Smith County Fair, then you
be able to look it up in this book. Now, Hollis is going to talk about a few things that he's got going on. So, Hollis, why don't you just go ahead and take your mic and tell us what's going on?
Scott Winfrey done this front page for us. He done an excellent job this time.
Yeah, it really looks good this year. That's true.
Anthony's delivered the programs to the banks, and I think he brought you some. He
Yes.
told me over some grocery stores. He's delivered all day. He didn't work today. He had to do that. I'm Hollis MULLINAX now, and I have 3 events at the fair. I do Senior Day. That's on Wednesday, the 2nd, and we have first 100 seniors 65 and over that signs up gets a free lunch. Plus we have a cornhole tournament. We have a horseshoe pitching tournament, and we have a ladder golf. I don't know where you know what ladder golf is or not. That's where you have up 2 stakes and there's 3 rails, and you got 2 golf balls. You know what that is? I
haven't seen it, no.
Well, you try to ring the top one because you get 3 points for that, and 2 for the second letter, and 1 for the bottom one, and the one that gets that's how you do it. Kind of like horseshoes.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, well, it does sound like fun. Do you win prizes if you?
Yeah. I give all 3 events. I give first, second, third, and fourth place prizes, and we have drawings. Anybody, whenever they enter the event, we have prizes we draw for them.
Okay.
Well, when everybody's favorite time is 12 o'clock, that's when we eat.
Well, now, if you're a senior, do you have to sign up beforehand, or can you just show up that day?
No, we got a deadline, July the 19th. Last year I signed up people and Jan did, but we had a lot of trouble. I'm not doing no signing up this year. You have to go down to Senior Citizen and sign up.
Jan Johnson
by the 19th of July.
Okay, and if you don't know where the Senior Center is, it's down off of Highway 70 there in South Carthage, just as you're going out of town. If you go past the pavilion, you went too far, you need to turn back, and it'll be on your right if you're coming toward town, and on your left if you're going out. And Jan Johnson, she's there most every day, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to be involved in that, you just sign up there.
And also, Jan has bingo. We give away prizes, and we have vendors. There's usually about 10 or 12 vendors that sets up inside, and they show their stuff off during the day.
Well, I've been there a couple of times, and there's some really interesting stuff. In fact, I think the pavilion, they even set up, and some of the others, I don't know if they have this year or they're going to, but they have in the past. Okay, you said that you give them a free meal then if they sign up.
The first 100.
Okay, and then how long does that go on? Is it 10 o'clock till?
We're gonna start at 9 this year, getting restoration. We're gonna do the cornhole before dinner.
Okay.
That way we rush to get out of there. We need to be out of there by 4 o'clock for the other stuff to take place.
Okay, all right, because they're setting up for some of the other shows and stuff that's going on, right?
Yeah, it usually takes about an hour. We have to change everything back over, get rid of the chairs and the tables, and set it up for what the other people's going to be doing.
Okay, now tell me about the horseshoes. How do you sign up for that, and when?
When they sign up, when they come in the door to sign up and get their meal ticket, we give a meal ticket, and they have to present that to get their meal.
Okay.
And we'll have sheets there for all of the cornhole, the horseshoes, and the ladder golf. If you want to play in that, you sign the list as you go in.
Okay, well now the horseshoe tournament, it's not just that day, is it? Or is it?
That's senior horseshoes.
Senior horseshoes. Okay, now you got another horseshoe tournament.
Now we're going to get to that now. On Friday night, we have the big boys.
Okay.
They didn't get to come last year, but they come from 2 or 3 states.
Yeah, I hear that gets pretty serious.
But when they have their state tournament or the regional, they're not going to come up here with us. They'd rather be at that. According to what Dan Oliver helps me with that, he thinks they may be here this year.
Okay.
They don't get to come every year.
Well, now for this tournament, horseshoe tournament on Friday night, how do you sign up for that?
Let's see, I need to get the reservation for that.
Okay. Well, now do you have categories in that? Do you remember?
No, they just I just pay for 3 places here and that. We get money. I have sponsorship. I think it's on 40. Restoration at 5:30 and pitching starts at 6:30.
Okay, so then that's on that Friday of the fair.
On Friday night.
Okay, now that's the horseshoe tournament, and any age can sign up for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if women pitch in it, or if you're over 70, we have a line. We do American Association rules, and they have we draw a line. They get to pitch
A little closer.
Yeah, those big shoes that if you pitch them, they hurt your arm if you hadn't pitched much.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then what else we got going on besides those 2 things?
All right. On Saturday I have the cornhole tournament. Restoration at 1, pitching at 2.
Okay.
We usually have that over yonder at the horseshoe pits, but last year it rained so much, we moved it down to the Rotary Club's bench down here.
Oh, okay.
Where the ball court was at, it worked out good. We was going to pitch under it, but didn't have enough room. Was hitting the ceiling with the bag.
Oh, okay.
So that prize money is paid out according to how much we get for both of the tournaments, the horseshoes and the cornhole bowl.
And that's not taking place at the Rotary stage. That's taking place at the Rotary shelter up here on the hill.
Yeah. We had to go out there to get in.
Okay.
And also, I do security, and anything else I reckon it needs to be done.
Right.
And also, we got.
We're going to have 2 gates.
Yeah. And we've upped the price is $5 this year.
Okay.
That eliminates all that change and make it a lot easier on the gate people. And they're doing that everywhere else too.
Okay, so if you're an exhibitor or somebody that's participating in the fair, you want to come in gate number 2. Yeah. And if you're just a attendant to the fair, you want to come in gate number 1. Gate number 1 here is behind the ballparks.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can come in the back one, though. I mean.
Okay, you can still come in the back one. Okay, and there's parking, all over the place. So yeah.
We run a shuttle from the parking lots down to the ticket booths.
So it'd actually be better if you parked in one of the parking lots outside and got on the shuttle, and they drop you right to the front gate, don't they? Yeah. And then pick you up and take you back to your car.
We've got we've got the homemade wine contest again, and this year we got trying something new. We got a rabbit show. I don't know how that's going to go. It's just something they come up with. The chicken, we have a chicken show, but according to we'll have it if they don't outlaw it. The ones that regulate that. Some kind of disease.
There's something that's going through some of the flocks.
If that's good, we'll have it. If not, I don't guess we'll have it.
Well, of course, you still got you have a cattle show, sheep show. You got several a goat show.
Yeah,
you got several shows going on under the covered area behind the ag center there, I believe.
Yeah, all of those go on during the week. All you got to do is get the program, and he'll tell you what time they start. Well,
it's going to be a big fair this year. I can't think. We're going to have all kind of vendors, all kind of food, and then is Mr. Macaroni going to be the vendor this year, or have they went with someone else?
No, we've got Josh back.
Okay, so you got Josh back this year. He does a good job.
That's Mr. Macaroni's son.
Yeah.
And I think his mama is going to come down and keep him straight.
Oh, okay. So we're still in the same family. We just got the younger one. Okay.
I think she's going to have a tent there. place down here where she can watch him. You know, they're gonna be all right.
They have a lot of fun. They enjoy coming to Smith County. So, and they're a good fair operator. Put on a very good show, and they'll be all the way from the front entrance all the way in through the fair.
Now we're going to do something different on the parish of the fair and things, but I'm not going to. That's not finalized yet, but it's going to be different. It'd be better.
Okay.
So I don't think I'm going to mention what they're going to do to make sure everybody knows we're on the same page.
And there, one new thing that's I don't think it's in the program, the fashion crawl. Is it in the program? It's not, is it? On the night after the beauty pageants, I think that's Thursday night, I believe, isn't it? When they're over. Anyway, the night after the beauty pageants are over, they're going to have a fashion crawl. The ladies over at Wish 86 and some of the other folks that are in town there and have ladies' clothing and children's clothing, they're going to come and they're going to do a fashion walk. And I think you ladies and you'd enjoy that. And Lindsay Bowes and Lindsay Underwood, they're both participating in that, and I think Lindsay Underwood is the one that's actually in charge of that. So if you want to find out more about that, call Lindsay Underwood over at Wish 86, and they can talk to you about that, when it's going to be. But it's going to be right after the at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, the night of the last beauty pageant. So just remember that.
And the armband prices for this year is Monday nights $18, Tuesday nights $18. And Wednesday night is $14, Thursday through Saturday is $18.
Okay, so Wednesday night's a bargain, and then $18 for the other nights, which is still a bargain.
Still a bargain.
So we hope you'll come to the Smith County Fair. And Hollis, is there anything you want to leave them with before we go?
Are we going to talk about your show? Or are you going to let that go? Fashion show.
Yeah, I already.
Oh, you done took care of it?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I reckon that'll do it for this year.
All right. Well, folks, come to the Smith County Fair by the river. All right, we're still here at the Smith County Fairgrounds, or Ag Center Complex. It plays so many roles, it's kind of hard to name it sometimes, but we're here with Mayor Michael Nesbitt. Michael, thank you.
Hello there. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah, appreciate you coming by. There's several things we want to talk about. One of those things is this little covered bridge that we're under right here. I know I came by and gave you a hand. You remember?
Yes, you did, Bill.
Yeah.
You helped me a lot.
Yeah.
It encouraged me to keep going.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. I come by and they was working on it, and I went, "Hey, you guys are doing a good job." But there was another Woodard fellow helped you. You and he built this.
Yes,
I
we
believe.
did. Well, let's go back a little bit further before we cover the bridge. And you know, this area, of course, referred to in the fair days, as far as while the fair is going on, is Pioneer Village. Mm-hmm. But let's take it back further than that. Mr. Benny Watts, there was a gentleman that worked for me at Smith County Maintenance Department. Mr. Benny Watts, just a great guy.
I remember Benny.
One of the greatest people I've ever been around, and he did a great job for me. And at the time, this was all grown up, a lot of trees and just little stuff, you know. And he said, "I believe we can clean that out. That'd make a good shady spot for people to just, to rest and maybe be used by the fair someday." So Benny kind of started that. Of course, my maintenance guys, they helped him there. Yes, sir. He had an amp on. But the maintenance guys, they helped him get this together. And of course, he worked for the maintenance department. And of course, all of this cleared out. It just makes a wonderful place. It's just relaxing. Matter of fact, I don't want everybody to know this since we're on live TV.
Yeah, but you guys keep this to yourself, okay?
I like to come over here and just kind of take it easy as the mayor,
Yeah, there you go.
I don't really get to do that, but I want to. But that's kind of where this started, and then they got to clearing it out. There's an entrance road up here, but then we needed a way to get here. Me and Mr. Anthony Woodard and a friend of his built the announcer stand at the end of the tractor pull, and I asked him one day if he would help me build a bridge going across to this area over here, and he said that he would. And so we ended up, me and him, Anthony Woodard, built this bridge. And matter of fact, we started it, and right before the fair 2015, we got it partially complete. We didn't get it completed. And as you remember, after the fair 2015 is whenever that I had my accident over here and broke my neck. So it was delayed for a period of time, and then we come back, we put the roof on it, and we finished it up. So I just want to say a shout out to Mr. Anthony Woodard for helping with that. Matter of fact, he was the actual brains of the operation. I was just a laborer.
So you kind of helped him.
That's right. Yes, but he actually he taught me a lot during that process, about how to carpenter and do work like that. So, and then I know Mr. Poindexter has come over here since they've been working on this with the Rotary, been working on this stage. They actually poured this concrete ramp entering in here. It makes it easier for people to get in and out. So it's just really, as you can tell right now, as hot as it is out there today.
Yeah, it's 90 degrees right now.
Yeah, breeze is blowing. It just really feels good here. So I know y'all talked about the stage area, but Rotary working on it. I just now saw it up close. I've been seeing it from a distance, but they did a great job.
Oh yeah, that's sturdy. That's going to last.
Yes,
well, now when we're talking about the fair, I know the county supports it heavily, and I know the fair board works very close in hand with the county on putting the fair together. I know maybe you're thinking about some improvements for this year and maybe some future improvements. Is there anything going on this year that'll be new to folks?
Oh yeah. Just when you said about the working relationship that we have, the county and the fair board agreed from day one that money that was made here, they would put it back into this facility. And I think it's very important for everybody to know it's not just the Smith County Fair. It really helps for all during the year, because any improvements we do over here, it helps people in the future. Let's say they wanted, and the fair actually paid for all of the electrical improvements throughout, as far as around the sidewalks and down this side of the tree line. But let's say there was a camping event over here, and there was campers, and they tied up. So you've got camper hookups in this area.
Right.
Now, something that I'm looking at doing real near in the future. It's not going to cost a lot of money. We've got sewer on site. So what we're planning on doing is actually making a dump station down at the beginning of this, where people come here, so they have no way to hook up to sewer. And I'm not going to do individual hookups, but we thought, just like they do at a lot of campgrounds, that you would camp, or let's say there's an event here, and they stay here over the weekend, and during that event, when they leave, we have a dump station down there. Would actually dump into the sewer system, just like they have at a Corps of Engineers campground or anything like that. So that's one improvement. But back to what I said about the fair board, if something costs $5,000, the fair board has agreed most of the time either to pay for it, or we have split, 50-50. We've done a lot of things 50-50. And then of course the Rotary, they supplied the labor, we bought the material. That's kind of where we are with that. So some of the other improvements, I know last year they got to actually see this, but we did an improvement on bleachers on the tractor pull side of the arena. We've had these bleachers on this side probably since 2006-07, and those bleachers, people don't think about it much, those bleachers cost $11,000 each set of bleachers, and that was unassembled. So then we had to do a lot of labor to put them together. And I think we're going to name those bleachers over there after Bob Baker and Ronnie Marcel.
Yeah,
they work so closely together.
Right, they talked about one section was going to be Bob and one was going to be Ronnie.
Yeah. The first day they worked together, they thought they were going to kill each other. then from that point forward, it just got better ever since.
Yeah,
so it was great. But anyways, that's one improvement that we did. Also, we moved the horseshoe pit area from the front of the building
to the back.
And the reason we did that, give us more room in front. They weren't utilized a lot, so we moved them back here, and I wish people would use them more, but they are in the back now. And then just looking around, I know one thing that we're going to try to do this year is try to improve the sound system under the Carson Maxwell cattle show barn area. And for those of you that maybe you don't know the story about Mr. Carson Maxwell, if it hadn't been for Mr. Carson Maxwell, we probably wouldn't be standing here today. Mr. Carson come and got me one day when I was first elected and said, I'm going to show you where the Ag Center is going to be. We drove over here, and there was weeds and trees and gullies and everything else, and I thought,
yeah, it was rough.
I don't see how this is going to happen, but he provoked me to look into the future, and also he presented to the county commission, and you along with others voted to do this. Been one of the best things we've ever done.
Yeah, and county actually did this. It wasn't a grant or anything like that was done that with it, I remember.
There was no grants. When I took office in 2002, they had put the sewer in. That was $257,000. And then the building cost, all of the building you see cost about $850,000. And then there's been some other improvements. We got about $1.5 million to begin with. It wouldn't surprise me if there's not $2 million in this whole facility now. But when I was talking about Mr. Carson, he believed in it so much that he actually donated $20,000 of his own money to go into this facility. And I don't know many people would be willing to do that individually.
Well, yeah, he truly did believe in it.
And I say this for his family, I hate to say it, but Mr. Carson passed away. He was paying it in $5,000 yearly payments. And when he passed away, I think he still owed about $10,000. And the family stepped right up and they continued to pay that, and they paid it all. And so that says something for the Maxwell.
Very honorable folks, to say the least.
It is. But under that part, we're going to do some improvements to the sound. We've got one set of speakers that are on the front. We're going to put a set in the back, a set in the center, and a set in the front. So we're going to have 6 speakers under that, and a whole separate system to it now versus having a split system.
Okay.
That's one improvement.
Now, a future improvement, I know you had mentioned we're going to try to get some bathrooms. That's going to do 2 things. The Fair Board is going to help have bathrooms, not this year, but maybe next year, down toward the ticket booth at the entrance.
Yes, sir. And it will serve 2 purposes. And the main purpose of that, of course, the ticket booth is way in the front, so I don't know that anybody utilizing the Ag Center itself or the arena is going to really benefit from that. But during the fair, bathrooms right beside the ticket booth, the people that work in the ticket booth can be able to use it, plus people coming in and out. But the biggest thing, 90% of the other time, or 90% of the time, the soccer fields, you know, all of the younger kids' soccer fields are on this end of the property. Well, the bathrooms are all the way on the other end of the property. So I'm hearing people call them and say, you know, why are the bathrooms so far? Why don't you have them down here on the soccer field? There's a reason why they can't be on the soccer field. First of all, the sewer, we'd have to pump it, plus it's in a floodplain. So there's a lot of things about that. But we're going to build a set of bathrooms down there where actually the people that are coming to the, I think it's U4, 6, and 8.
Right, my little granddaughter is in that, and I can attest that's a problem.
Yeah, so they can walk right up the hill, and they can utilize those restrooms up there. So that won't be done for the fair, but it will be done before
the next fair.
Before fall ball starts, soccer league starts, and we already got a contract to give me a price on it. So heading that.
Well, and speaking of soccer and improvements, they built a concession booth and some storage lockers on the soccer field. That was about a year ago or longer. And
that's just another partnership thing that has worked so well. And you hear of government saying, we grant this money to leverage this much money. Well, we didn't really give a grant, but we were able to utilize our resources and their resources and actually built a building. What we've committed to, the 2-story building that you see down there at the soccer field, was actually the labor was donated and paid for and done by the high school soccer. And then the county paid for the materials. So, we built a $25,000 building for $15,000 basically. And so that's there, and now we have lights on the soccer field, the Smith County High School soccer field. And those lights, as you're on the county commission, y'all voted to borrow the money to put those on there. Those lights cost $115,000. But the real good thing about it is we were the first county in the state of Tennessee to get a U.S. Soccer Foundation grant, $25,000 grant that went towards those lights. First county in the state of Tennessee. So that says something about our soccer team, our soccer, the high school soccer team. Miss Amy Broyles, she wrote the grant. You can't find a better person. I mean, she's just a great person.
Well, and the soccer team consists of the kids from the 2 high schools. Is that right?
Oh yeah, you got Gordonsville players and you got Carthage players that play on the Smith County Owls high school soccer team. So if somebody comes from Gordonsville, puts on a black and gold jersey, they love to play soccer.
Yeah, they do.
And I think that's great, though.
Yeah, yes, it is. It shows a lot of character.
It does.
It sure does. Well, all right. We talked about the improvements and everything, and there's a lot of things going on for the fair. Fair is the last day of July and the first week in August.
July
this
31st
year
through August the 5th. Me and you going to race kayaks this year?
We are. Cole talked about that. It's going to be a 4-mile race. It won't be so hard on us this year.
I don't know if I can do 4 miles.
Oh, you did 10 the other year.
I know. Yeah. But the competition's on.
Hey, I'm telling you. Yeah, we're gonna fight for last place.
We'll probably do better than that.
Yeah, I think so. We're gonna beat some of those young guys.
Okay. But just to kind of wrap up, I'd just like to tell all of you out there, I've been the county mayor since 2002, and it's a pleasure serving you as county mayor. Serving my 4th term now, 2018, that's coming pretty soon. That'll be the end of this term. But I want you to know that we're doing very well in Smith County. We got our budget passed. Just the other day, no tax raise. That's always a good sign.
And the wheel tax, $50 came off of that?
That's exactly right. The second reading of the wheel tax, repealing the wheel tax, was done in June 26th. Voted unanimously. The county commission voted unanimously. And a lot of people asking questions about that. why do you want to take it off when there may be another project coming? And we realize that, but that wheel tax was not intended to be for eternity.
No.
It was supposed to be for one project. And as a matter of fact, with that wheel tax coming off, we'll be able to pay the note off even early. I think we'll be able to pay it off June 30th, 2019. So we did that to release pressure on the people. And a lot of people say, well, the wheel tax is the fairest tax. I agree. It is one of the fairest taxes instead of just putting it on to the property tax. But if we can pull that off, and that's what the commission promised in the day, is it either come off in 2021 or, earlier if it
was paid off.
So I think that it would be I think it's really good for the county commission and the mayor to do what they said they'd do. And so if something does come up in the future, whatever building project's coming our way, it may come time to vote on it again, and I hope people will be supportive of it because it's been a good source of paying off debt. I would warn against ever using it for recurring expenses, because once you tap that out, there is nowhere else to go.
Well, and the people of Smith County voted to put that tax on so they could do that one project to build the buildings that we built for the school system. And there's no reason that if they're given a good project and it makes sense, they won't do that again.
I believe it would. I believe people in this county are very smart people, and I think they're very conservative, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'd like to be conservative myself.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing, folks, when you go to buy your tags after, October the 1st, I believe?
Yeah, October 1st is the cutoff point. So
yeah.
I had to pay mine. Mine was due in May. So
yeah, I had to
get
too.
The break. So
yeah,
but other people, October 1st.
October 1st,
the
it's
tags go
$50
from
less.
$89 to $39, and then there's a $5 additional now, so it's going to be $44.
So
that $5 additional has come from the Improve Act, from the state legislature on the gas tax and on registration fees to generate the money for the highway department.
Okay, so your tag's going to go from 89 to 44.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's going to be a good thing. Folks, we appreciate you tuning in with us, and I think the mayor will agree with me. Smith County is a great place to live, a great place to work, and a great place to play around here. We got a lot of recreation going on, a lot of good things happening.
More time to play, Bill.
Well, I mean, you and me both, but that maybe when I get older.
Yeah. You're old now. I'm just kidding, Bill. Just kidding.
Hey, that ant jumped on you now.
All right, good.
All right. Well, Mayor, thanks for coming by.
And thank y'all for listening today.
Folks, come to the Smith County Fair, and if you got any questions about that, if it's a question that's easy to answer, call me. If it's a hard question, call the mayor.
That's right. I got them all.
All right. God bless you. Okay, we have kind of changed positions on you. We've come over here to the Gordonsville Baptist Church. They're having a seminar. I guess we're at BU, right? B University. Is that what you call it? Yeah, this is Mr. Bobby Swann. Bobby and I have been friends for several years, right? And Bobby and I have worked together over at the mine for many years. Anyway, Bobby, you're here to learn how to be a master beekeeper. Is that right?
Yes, I believe that's what the course is.
Yeah, master beekeeper. Now, how'd you hear about this?
My wife and county agent, actually the sign on the county agent.
Okay, and so have you got bees, or are you thinking about getting them? What motivated you to get involved in this?
I've been wanting some bees and come up with 2 hives this year, and there's a lot to learn and trying to learn all I can.
Okay, and you live on the north end of the county. You got a farm over around. You tell me where. Defeated Creek. Okay, yeah. All right. And what, like the bees, is that part of something else you're doing? Or are you just going to harvest honey, or are you just doing it for a kind of a hobby?
It's kind of like a hobby, but of course, you hear about the bees dying and you want to help all you can, I guess. Yeah,
well, you hear a lot of that on the news, and I don't know if that's hit us, but there's several things that'll get to them. I think Chris is going to talk to a bee expert here in a few minutes, but we wanted to talk to somebody local that went through the course. What do you think about the course?
Oh, it's a real nice course. Of course, I guess you'll hear there was like 19 counties present.
Okay, well, I knew it was a big crowd.
So we're learning a lot.
Yeah, and the folks that were doing the seminar there, they seemed to know what they were doing. From what I observed.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot more to beekeeping than just putting a box out and getting them to jump in it, isn't there?
That's correct. There's tremendous amount to learn.
Okay. Well, Bobby, I appreciate you talking with us. If are they doing any more courses? I didn't ask anybody. Do you know?
I really don't know, Bill.
Okay. Well, who knows? Maybe you'll get good at it. You'll start teaching one. Of course, that'd
that's gonna be a while.
that'd cut into the logging business. We couldn't have that, could we? All right. Well, Bobby, thanks for talking with me.
Thank you, baby.
All right, good to see you again, man.
You too.
Hey, Chris Hicks here with you from UT Extension. We are at our Master Beekeeping course. This is a 2-day event in Gordonsville, Tennessee for our beekeepers, and Cynthia ZEITZ is here with me. Cynthia is the retired extension agent in Jackson County, and she has done a lot of work to help us put this program together here in Gordonsville for 2 days, and we've had a lot of fun. This is our first day, and we've learned a lot. Cynthia, give us a little background about how you got started in beekeeping and how this whole Master Beekeeper program was developed and has progressed to where we are today.
Okay, well, I've probably been keeping bees for about 6 years, and I have 12 hives, and they're located on our farm here in Gordonsville. But I was asked by my producers in Jackson County, beekeepers, to have some educational programming on beekeeping. And I knew nothing about bees, but the nature of extension is we have a lot of specialists. We have a lot of resources available. So I said, I don't know anything about bees, but I can bring you some people to talk about bees. And so an extension agent from Franklin County, John Farrell, came, and he did several nights of educational programming with my beekeepers. And at the end of that meeting, they presented me with a hive with bees. I had no jacket, no smoker, no equipment, but John was my very first mentor. He's the agent in Franklin County, and I got started in bees.
Awesome. Well, that makes me a little nervous. I'm afraid maybe I'll get stuck with a hive of bees this evening. Maybe not, but we do have a good crowd here. We've got over 50 folks from 20 different counties stretching all over the state. I think I heard in there earlier all the way from Jackson, Tennessee on the west side all the way to Knoxville. We've got people represented from 20 different counties, including, of course, Smith County and our surrounding areas. So we're excited about it. Talk to everybody listening and watching about what the folks here are learning about.
Well, the Master Bee program is designed, this one's for basic, is for people who are just getting into beekeeping. Now, we have some here that don't have bees yet, but basically it's designed for people who have bees, and to teach them about better management, teach them about equipment they might use, management techniques, and there's a lot of management according to the seasons that needs to be done. And then right now they're focusing on pests and diseases. It used to be when we kept bees, you didn't have to do anything. You just went out once a year and robbed the hives. But anymore we have the hive beetle and we have the varroa mite, which is causing a lot of destruction in our hives, and that's one of the reasons why the bee population is so small. Yeah,
and of course bees are super important. I think most folks are aware of just how much bees do for us as far as agriculture, which you and I have spent our careers working with farmers and producers, and how important beekeeping is to those. Now, people watching may be asking a lot of questions about beekeeping. Maybe it's something you've thought about. UT Extension has a lot of information, classes like this. Also, we have some pretty good reading materials. We've got a nice website, tons of information out there about beekeeping, so check that out. Now, somebody who wants to get in beekeeping, what do they need to get started? We just talked about inside all the tools and the different things that they can buy to help them in beekeeping, but what are some of the bare essentials, and what kind of cost are they looking at just to get started?
When I talk to people about being interested in getting into bees, it's really good to start thinking about it and planning in the fall, because that gives you a chance to decide how many hives you want, and we usually recommend starting with 2. And then it gives you a chance to get all your equipment ordered, and there's decisions to make because there's lots of choices there, and get that equipment to you early enough, late winter, early spring, to prepare that. You got to decide on your location, so there's lots of decision making to do. I lost track.
Money. How much money are we talking about? That's what they're asking, I think.
$600. So when you get your bee suit, your smoker, your hive tools, the bees themselves, it's going to be $600. So you don't want to just start with one. If you're going to invest that in one, then the multiple hives will be significantly less.
Sure. So every hive you get, that makes that cost per hive a lot better.
Yes, because your suit and some of that equipment is will be used all the time.
Yeah. Well, Cynthia, I'm sure they're ready for us to get back inside and continue our master beekeeping course. Thank you again for all the work that you've done and for being with us today.
You're welcome, and if you want to get into bees, stop by and see Chris.